What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Vince McMahon angry with WWE. Vince McMahon defends Hulk Hogan. Is the WWE World Champion pregnant? WWE turns a top star heel. The truth behind a WWE release. Is Karrion Kross expected back? A WWE Referee Hospitalised, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Vince McMahon angry and buries WWE. Now, our top story today takes a look at the new Real Hulk Hogan documentary produced by TMZ, specifically at the comments made by former WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. During the documentary, McMahon discusses not being invited to WWE's tribute show to Hulk Hogan, and McMahon wasn't happy, to say the very least. McMahon evidently expected to be invited, or at least to the 10-bell salute, but obviously WWE and TKO still have no interest whatsoever in working with McMahon and have outright banned him. McMahon also took issue with the fans booing Hulk Hogan during his final appearance on Raw. It wasn't set up properly. I'm sure he was probably despondent after that. I was angry because we've known each other for a lifetime, professionally and personally. Setting up, so to speak, this larger-than-life superhero, you don't just let him walk out there. He deserves something very, very special. More than anyone, they owe him. It's just like, okay, here comes Hulk Hogan. I got angry because that's not the way I would have done it, and he deserved much more. McMahon fails to address how he would have presented Hogan during that Raw appearance, and there's definitely very little WWE could have done to influence the negative crowd response towards the WWE Hall of Famer. I mean, let's be fair to WWE, they didn't just tribute him on one show, they did a full tribute on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, as well as mentioning the passing again and a tribute on SummerSlam. Is there any more that they could have done? Next up, Vince McMahon defends Hulk Hogan. Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan had a complex relationship, and for the first time ever, McMahon discussed Hogan's racist remarks. According to McMahon on the documentary, Hogan's racist comments were quote-unquote unforgivable, and WWE proceeded to remove him from their Hall of Fame. It was unforgivable, and I was aghast. What happened? When those things occurred, that's not like him. What in God's name is going on? As soon as it happened, obviously the company didn't have anything to do with him anymore. We took him out of the Hall of Fame. You just don't do those things. And McMahon would then defend his decision to reinstate Hulk Hogan in 2018. And McMahon would then claim that he knew that Hogan wasn't actually racist. I knew he wasn't racist. I've been with him for so many years. He wasn't racist. He said some racist things. He should pay for that, and he did. In the end, I think everyone saw the real Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, and they felt, wait a minute, this guy doesn't act like a racist. He's not a racist. We all make mistakes. That was a big one, but he wasn't a racist. Now, Hogan reportedly apologized to the WWE locker room at the 2018 Extreme Rules event, and Hogan would go on to criticize those who didn't accept his apology for failing to understand the quote-unquote brotherhood of wrestling. Next up is World Champion Naomi pregnant. Now, before Raw this week, it was announced that the planned Naomi vs Io Sky match was cancelled. It was then reported that Naomi wasn't medically cleared, and all WWE stated was that fans should keep an eye on their social media handles for future updates. Now, there's currently been no updates on WWE's behalf, however there are social media rumours that Naomi may be pregnant. It's unclear where these rumours surfaced from, but on the Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez seemed to imply that these rumours are circulating within WWE. There's definitely a rumour going around in WWE about what's going on with Naomi, and like it's being talked about by people there, and if it is in fact what's going on, she's going to be out for a long time. And Naomi, along with her husband Jimmy Uso, are set to appear on Stephanie McMahon's podcast tomorrow, so it is possible that news relating to Naomi's status is shared there. But there have been some false rumours online that the Women's World Championship has now been vacated. These are 100% false rumours, as no title has been vacated. Now, as soon as the rumours came out that Naomi would be out for a long time, fingers started pointing at Big Jim. They definitely didn't proceed without caution. Next up, WWE moving John Cena's retirement match. For months, it's been reported that John Cena will retire in December 2025. Specifically, Cena is set to wrestle at Saturday night's main event on December 13th, and this will act as Cena's final ever WWE matchup. However, it's now been reported by Andrew Baydala on X that Cena's retirement match could take place on December 27th, which will put the event the same evening as AEW World's End. Now, there are still calls from fans to see WWE book John Cena's final ever matchup on a PLE, but it looks like they're set on Cena wrestling for the final time on a TV special. This didn't go down well with Goldberg's retirement match, so let's hope that WWE don't make the same mistake with John Cena. But in the wake of WWE adding a PLE to their schedule next month to rival AEW All Out, it was reported by Brian Alvarez on The Observer that next month will be the only time in which WWE counter-program in 2025. This gives extra credence to Badala's report, and it's looking extremely probable that Cena now retires at the end of December. Next up, WWE turns a top star heel. Now on Raw this week, WWE started to show friction between Io Sky and Asuka, and whilst it wasn't a full-blown heel turn, it does look like Asuka was showing more heel tendencies. Now according to PW Insider Elite, when Naomi was pulled from Raw, WWE fast-tracked the Asuka heel turn as it was originally set to play out over a number of weeks. PW Insider Elite is told that the Asuka heel turn was scheduled to be more of a slow burn over the next few weeks, but when Raw plans were reconfigured once Naomi was pulled, they were pushed forward. There was also talk of Rhea Ripley teaming with Io Sky against Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez for last night's Raw at one point after Naomi was pulled, we're told by sources, but they decided to go in a different direction. Asuka turning heel certainly gives the heel side of the women's division some credibility, and the inevitable Asuka vs Sky rivalry has all the potential to be one of the strongest rivalries of 2025. Next up, a recent WWE injury was real. When it was explained on Raw that Dominic Mysterio was injured, fans were convinced that this was a total work. Now it looked like Mysterio was just trying to get out of defending the Intercontinental title against AJ Styles, and therefore WWE was working an angle to further the issues between the two. However, it's now surfaced that Mysterio was legitimately injured. Speaking on the Club 520 podcast, Mysterio revealed that he dislocated two of his lower ribs. I dislocated my two lower ribs and they were digging into my cartilage, so that's why I was actually hurt. Everyone thought I was faking it, but it was actually hurt. Mysterio would thankfully make a speedy recovery and he was able to return to the ring in a matter of weeks. Next up, the truth behind a WWE release. Now earlier this week, Ashante Adonis announced his departure from WWE, but it's now surfaced thanks to a report from Fightful Select that Adonis wasn't outright fired, it was just a case of his 2022 contract coming to an end. It was also noted that despite Adonis mainly being used in NXT, he was on a main roster contract. Ashante was among the numerous WWE talent brought back to WWE in the summer of 2022. A ton of them at the time signed 3-year contracts to return, which most of would be up around now had a number of not already been released. With Ashante Adonis, aka Tahiti Miles, his was a contract expiration. And those in WWE we've spoken to claimed that he was informed a couple of weeks prior that his contract would be allowed to expire. He had not been used on WWE TV since. WWE sources claimed that Ashante had remained on the WWE main roster contract despite ending up on NXT for the last year. And due to Adonis fulfilling his entire WWE contract, he's now free to explore other opportunities without any delay. According to Fightful Select's report, there's potential interest from names in TNA when it comes to working with him, so that's potentially where the former Hit Row member could end up. Next up, the truth behind WWE confiscating signs. The We Want Kross movement looked to take over Raw this week with chants of Karrion Kross throughout the night. However, that never even happened, as there was zero chants heard on the broadcast when it came to the audible support from the former NXT champion. Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio has now claimed that WWE confiscated signs in support of Kross during the show. You know, they did confiscate some of the signs. Yeah, I mean, nobody chanted. And I heard from several people at the show, and they said people thought people might chant. Nobody chanted. There were a few signs in the crowd. I didn't see anyone taking them away, and I did see them later in the show, but someone who was there said, yeah, they absolutely took the signs away. This report is slightly confusing, as throughout Raw there were numerous pro-Kross signs seen on camera. With that being said, it is possible that WWE were confiscating the larger signs that may have been more distracting. Next up is Karrion Kross expected back in WWE. Now, whilst no one seems to know for sure if Karrion Kross's WWE exit is really a work, it's being speculated on the Wrestling Observer Radio that the belief in WWE is that Kross will be back. They mentioned the belief in WWE is he's gonna be back, but we'll see. They're not telling anyone anything, but everyone is pretty skeptical. It's like, are they working the boys on this if he comes back? You can say yes, but it's not like they're being fooled. It's not like guys are coming and going, oh no, he's really gone. No one is saying that. They're just sort of like, we don't know and whatever. We don't know, but we figured he's gonna be back, and we kind of figure it's an angle, but we really don't know. Now, it's worth noting that WrestleVotes are reporting that WWE corporate are under the impression that Kross is effectively done, so there's a lot of mixed reports on Kross's status. Next up, WWE Referee Hospitalised. A WWE referee, Charles Robinson, is currently in hospital after being bitten by a bat. Robinson revealed this via Instagram this morning, and despite the animal attack, the legendary referee appears to be in good spirits. We want to wish Lil Nate a speedy recovery. And finally, the WWE roster is upset over this. Our final story today takes a look at the fallout from Seth Rollins' world title win, and unfortunately, Rollins working virtually everyone hasn't gone down well backstage. According to PW Insider Elite, the entire angle left a bad taste in the mouths of in-ring talents. Obviously, WWE can lie to anybody they want. It would appear during the Seth Rollins situation, much of which has left a very unhealthy flavor in the mouths of a lot of people who work behind the scenes for the company, as well as talents who are in-ring performers. The angle itself received mixed reviews from fans, and numerous wrestlers such as Nikki Bella and Logan Paul have come forward to state that Rollins was working the entire locker room. A lot of the criticism for the angle has come from fans asking what the purpose of the angle truly was. Whilst it created a shocking moment at SummerSlam, did Rollins truly need to fake an injury to achieve this goal of becoming world champion? But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.